Welcome to our first ever Presto Stats series. Um, aim to help any new student workers or new sports information personnel learning how to use this stats program for your sports events. Um, this section will be focused on basketball. This will both include men's and women's basketball. Um, Quick introduction for those of you who do not know. My name is Chase Dodge. I am the Sports Information Director over at Westcliff University. Westcliff University is a member of the NAI. We are also a member of CalPAC, or the California Pacific Conference. The focus of these videos are, one, to help my student workers quickly understand any of the new controls that they may not be aware of. And also for any fellow SID member across the nation that quickly needs a refresher or just are new to this program. So let's get into it. First, this section, we're just going to quickly do a introduction for men's and women's basketball, but we're going to primarily focus on men's basketball. When you log in, you're going to log into PrestoStats.com. You're going to plug in your email and password. This page will come up. At the top over here is all the calendar. So as you can see, we have one event for today. This event is what I created. This will help you look and plan ahead to see what you have coming up on your schedules. Over here, to view all the individual seasons that your university or college offers, we're going to click onto NAI Men's Basketball 2020-2021. This is our season. We're going to open up this. Now, we're going to quickly go over to our roster. The roster, these are all of our varsity players. These are all individuals that are eligible to play. These do not include anyone who is redshirting or who are on our developmental squad. For if you are a different program and you need to add a player to your roster, you're going to go over here to the options. You're going to hit add new player. You're going to make sure the active mark is checked. You're going to plug in their number, first name, last name, their position, and their year, if they're a freshman, junior, or senior. You're going to hit save. We don't have anyone new, so we're going to hit cancel, but you're going to hit save, and it will be added to this list. Make sure all the numbers for you guys are listed. Ours is currently unlisted because we have not yet handed out our jerseys. So yours will hopefully be filled in. Next, we're going to quickly look at our schedule. Now, our schedule is both home and away of anyone who we are competing for this season. To quickly add an event that is not listed, you're going to click over here to add an event. Up at the top, you're going to click your date, whatever date it may be. You're going to also click your start time. If you do not have a start time, you can leave it blank and it will be listed as TBA for to be announced. You're going to also plug in the visiting team that is at your venue. You're going to plug them in. You're going to also plug in your school's name. You're going to scroll down. You're going to also hit the tab conference if you are in your conference season, or the check mark if it's postseason. If it's a non-conference game, you're just going to leave it blank. And then you're going to hit save, and it will be plugged right in. This concludes our part 1 of our introduction. Our part 2 will be to going into the individual games and learning how to stat that. So please stay tuned. Welcome back. This will be part 2 of our basketball training series for Presto Stats. Part 1, we went over how to add people to our overall roster and to create our schedule. Now that since we created our schedule, we will now go into the program itself. So we are going to go quickly over to men's basketball. We're going to click on that. We're going to click on the game schedule we're going to do. I'm going to click the one versus university just as a training video, just so it doesn't actually count against an actual conference opponent for us. So you're going to go over here. You're going to launch the Presto Stats, and it will open up to another tab, which I already have opened. So we're going to click over here. This will be the first screen that you'll see. Will be the first thing you'll have to tackle during your pregame. This will be when the players are warming up before the game actually starts. Under game setup, we're going to quickly go over here to the tab next to help. We're going to hit setup. And you are going to plug in all the information appropriately. You got to plug in the record going into the game. If it's your first game, you're obviously going to be putting 0-0. So we'll quickly put that in. If you are playing a conference game, you'll plug in the conference record over to the right. Now down under event data, you are going to quickly make sure all the information is correct. Make sure it's the right date. Don't need to worry about attendance at the moment. If you do want to put officials, you can. But if you leave it blank, it's no worries. And the arena/venue, this will be where the event takes place. We're going to type in Westcliff University. Over here at the bottom with conference, neutral, or exhibition, if any of your games fall under those categories, quickly click the check mark. Since this is a trial game, we're just going to leave it blank. Under the rules for men's basketball, they will be playing 2 halves, each 20 minutes. For women's basketball, there will be quarters, and these will be 10 minutes per quarter. Make sure those minutes are correct. Overtime will be 5 minutes. You're going to hit save. Now under game setup, it'll click OK. So you're good to go. Now you'll be going to rosters manager. This will make sure you have the correct and accurate roster before the game starts. So right now we have visitor highlighted. We have just a random university. These are all the players listed. What I like to do before a game is I like to go to each individual head coach with a printed out roster page with their number and their name listed. I'll go over and ask them, hey, is this everyone accounted for? Do you have any jersey changes? Do you have any players not suiting up for the evening? Once he gives you that information, if he is comfortable giving you starters, he will. And you'll plug that information accordingly. If he does see, say we have 5 players playing for university. If he says, "Oh, we actually have another player suiting up," you can add to this roster for this game individually. You'll hit add. You'll go type in the number accordingly. Whatever the name is, we'll just put Joe. You'll hit save, and now he's saved into the game. We'll go over to Westcliff. Here's all our guys listed. Now these are all fake names for identity purposes since this will be online. Say our head coach gives us a roster and he's like, hey, you know what? I don't want this guy up here because he's not suiting up. We'll hit remove. We'll remove that. Now you'll go under to set starters and participation. You will select all the numbers that apply for starters for the game for the evening. You'll click all of that for both teams. You'll hit save, and this will be your new page. That will be it for your pregame setup. Welcome back to our Presto Stats basketball edition. Um, in our last segment, we learned how to do our game setup with plugging in the information for our pregame, along with making sure our rosters are up to date, as long as inputting starters. For this video, we are going to learn all the different keystrokes, where they are, what they do. Um, First off, let's get into the names of all the keystrokes. So all the all the actions that may take place during a basketball game are listed in front of you. Um, and with the letter underlined, that just means the letter on your keyboard will initiate that sequence. So we got jump shot, we got 3-point shot, we got our layup, free throw, a dunk, a tip in, steal, turnover, foul, assist, rebound, block, our substitution, our timeouts, game control. Um, Game control would be what we play in for halftime, um, to add another period, to do other controls. We'll get into that later. And also a wrong basket. This key, um, very rarely is it used, but it does happen. First, let's get into our jump shot. So for our jump shot, we'll initiate J. Our J, now it gets into choose your shooter. Now up here at the top, we got our possession arrow. This just indicates who has possession of the basketball. So right now, Westcliff has possession, and they took a jumper. Um, and these are all the numbers listed who are on the floor. If you see a number that is not listed here, you may have missed a substitution that you may need to correct later. Um, so right now we'll say number 2 shot the basketball. Now it goes into another segment, which is the result of the shot. Real quick, the shot result, most cases, if it goes in, it's a good field goal. Um, you won't have to worry about good three-pointer because there's a different entry key for that. Um, a good jump shot in the paint. Um, Sometimes it could be a good jump shot on a fast break, which is F. Sometimes it could be a good jump shot with the paint and fast break, which would be Z. This is very rare, but it does happen. Um, right over here, we have the actions for any missed shot. I don't necessarily do offensive and defensive rebound, but this is a personal preference. Sometimes I would just hit R, which then kicks into rebound type, which would be offensive or defensive. Depending on who comes up with the ball, you would click either O or D for offensive or defensive. So right now we'll say it was a defensive rebound. Um, and this will be with a person who grabs the rebound and actually has control of it. So we'll say number 12 got the defensive rebound. Now University has possession of the basketball. Now we'll go down to, we'll do the same thing, jump shot, number 2 shot it. Now we'll do a good field goal, which is G. And this will kick into if anyone assisted the player. If not, hit enter and it will switch over to Westcliff. But if there is an assist, please enter that in, which will be 4. So now it just flips possession. One last thing, we're going to hit jump shot. Number 12 shot it. We're going to learn how to block, which would be K. Then you would enter the number of who blocked the shot. So in this case, we'll do number 12. And then it will kick into a rebound, just like a missed shot. Remember to make sure that this is a team that has full possession of the ball. So we'll do, it was a block shot, but it was an offensive rebound by number 12. Now West Coast still has control of the ball. For the next part, we'll learn 3-point shot. Welcome back. I believe this was part 4 of our series. In our part 3, we learned the jump shot controls and how to get a block shot correctly, along with an offensive and defensive rebound. Another thing I forgot to mention, once the game is going, up here on the top where you see this red box with a 20 and a first, this is your game clock. To initiate the game clock, you will tap your space bar, which will then change into um, green. It'll start counting down, and you just let it run until um, the ball goes out of bounds. Referee blows their whistle. If there's a foul call, then you'll stop it and then initiate it back in when appropriately. Right now, we'll go into our 3-point shot. Obviously, a 3-point shot. Um, this is also a jump shot, but this occurs outside the 3-point line. A real easy tip: if you are blocked by defensive players and you see someone go up for a shot and you don't know if it's a jump shot or a 3-point shot, look for a referee indication. He'll always stick his hand up in the air to initiate that 3-point shot was initiated. Um, for a 3-point shot, it will be Y on your keyboard, and in this you will type in the player number of who took it. So in this case, we'll do number 14 took the 3-point shot. Like a normal jump shot, for a good field goal, you'll just hit G, um, and this will be a successful 3-point shot. Same thing with block and rebound as we previously went over. If there's an assist, put that number in. For this case, we'll just do no assist, which is just enter. Next, we'll do a layup. For a layup, this is not a jump shot. This is someone who drives to the basket and lays the basketball off the backboard for easy layup. This occurs within a couple feet of the basket. This will be an L. Same thing as a jump shot. You'll just initiate the player who took it. In this case, we'll do 00. Same thing as a jump shot. These are all the controls. Most cases, it will be a good layup or a rebound. So in this case, we'll do a rebound. We'll do offensive number 2. Now, in most situations, off of a layup, if there is a missed shot, there will be sometimes a tip in. A tip in just means that a player did not maintain control with both hands and do a normal jump shot or layup. He just tips the ball in with his fingertips, which will be P. Whoever tipped it in will get credit for this successful basket. A tip in does not, a tip in is just like a normal jump shot, so it would be either good or a rebound. Most cases, it will be a good field goal, so we'll type in G for that. Next, we'll go over a dunk. A dunk occurs when a player goes to the basket and successfully hangs on the rim. This will be a D, depending on who drove to the basket. We'll give it to number 12. Most cases, it will be a good field goal, but it does happen if a dunk does miss, it will be a rebound. But for this case, we'll do a good field goal. Um, sometimes, sometimes you'll have an assist, sometimes you'll not, because the player will initiate the dunk by themselves. So in this case, we'll have no assist. And this concludes our initial preview into our jump shot, 3-point shot, our layup, and our tip in and dunk. In our next segment, we will learn um, how to initiate a foul, free throws, along with steals and turnovers. So please stay tuned. Welcome back. As we mentioned in our previous videos, we learned how the keystrokes for our jump shot, 3-point shot, layups, our tip ins, and our dunks, along with adding in assists, blocks, and rebounds. And in this segment, we will learn how to put in our foul, um, along with our free throws, turnovers, and steals. For a foul call, this could be anything, but what a foul does initiate is a stop in time. What is very helpful is that you don't have to guess if it was a foul or not. You will always have an official come up to the scores table and report the foul. So right now we'll stop time, and we'll hit foul, which was F. Um, Depending on what color uniforms, they'll do for home, most cases, white. Away, it will be a darker color, depending on who's playing at your venue. Um, but they will never say home or away. They'll always initiate color and the number. So we'll do foul number 2. That's it. Sometimes a foul does not result in a shooting. It's not a shooting foul in terms of if a foul is committed, the person who was fouled goes to the free throw line. Sometimes it could be. It's just they'll just inbound it and the play continues and you'll start the clock. In this case, it will be a shooting foul, so we'll do a free throw, which would be E. Make sure you have the correct school on who's taking the free throw shot. For the first shot, we'll do number 12. One or two things will occur. It's a successful free throw or it's a rebound. For the first attempt, since it's a dead ball, you'll hit, say our player misses it, we'll do rebound. Offensive and defensive, for the first initial shot, since the ball is not live, I always do offensive. I will do a dead ball rebound, mostly because he'll always have a second attempt. So we'll do free throw number 12. And then we will have this be, say he misses again, we would do rebound. Now this ball is live. In most cases, it will be a defensive rebound, so we'll do defensive number 4. Make sure you start your clock and the play will continue. Real quick, just to see, number 12 takes a free throw. For a good free throw, you just type in E again. That's it. The free throw key will always be +1. Now going on to our turnovers and steals. A turnover always occurs if the player loses the ball, throws the ball away, or commits an offensive foul. In this case, turnover number 2, he just threw it away in the stance. Sometimes a turnover could result in a steal. In that case, you will do a turnover first, number 14, and then we'll have a steal occur by the team that has possession of the ball. So we'll have 00 took the steal, and the play continues. Real quick, it's a real quick succession. Yeah, so this will be fouls, free throws. Real quick, I'm going to go back to fouls. Most cases, a foul that results in a technical foul, you will do foul. So we'll do number 4 gets a foul. He gets one for a personal, but also he would get one for a technical foul. You're going to click technical foul, which is T, and then make sure you hit number 4. Then over here to the left under your recent plays, it'll say technical foul by the number. Whenever a technical foul is issued, the referee will go to your scores table to make sure you guys have the right information. If you have any questions on if a play was a technical foul, please welcome back. We just quickly went over our fouls, our free throws, our turnovers and steal keys. For these last couple of videos, we are going to do how to make a successful substitution. how to do a timeout, along with what happens at halftime, how to get into the second period. Right now, real quick, a substitution will occur when there's um, when time is not going on. Um, the officials will initiate a substitution. This happens really quickly. For a substitution, it's an I. Um, this highlighted is the team you're previously on. The orange is every individual that's on the court. Every number in white is who's available from your bench to go into the game. Um, some cases it's very easy that you'll have one person coming into the game and one coming out. You just type in their number. So we'll have 34 entering the game, number 2 coming out. Make sure there's always 5 listed. If there's more than 5, it will not allow you to continue. So we have these 5. We're going to enter it, and that's it. That's how you successfully do a substitution. And underneath, right here, these are all 5 of your players who are currently on the court. Just to make sure, so we said number 34 came in and number 2 came out. If yours looks something differently, that just means you did not enter it in. So you're gonna have to start that over. We'll do substitution again. Say for university, right now we have only one possible substitution, but obviously when you're doing your game, it will be multiple. For me, this is a personal preference. If there are 3 or more substitutions for the same team coming into the game, what I like to do is I like to hit R on my keyboard, which is reset the field. And this is just, you'll type in every player you see on the court and then hit enter in. Um, this helps you out for if you're not sure who came in for who. You just quickly type in R and you'll just see, well, who's on the court, and then the computer will initiate the rest of like, oh, this was who came out. This helps me save time, especially in a game that's high paced. That falling behind does hurt you in the long run. For a timeout, timeout will always be initiated either by a head coach or a player. A timeout is O. Um, make sure you click on the team on who gave the timeout or who received the timeout, excuse me. This will always be initiated by the official. The official will let you know, hey, we have a timeout issued by Westcliff, and we will have either a 30-second timeout or a full timeout. The officials will let you know. So in this case, we'll have a full timeout. And in our next segment, we will learn how to do our game control keys, how to go into the next period at halftime, along with our closing and how to wrap up the game, how to finalize it, and how to send out the final box score. So please stay tuned for our last segment. Welcome back to our final segment. In this segment, we will learn how to do our game control tab. This will be during halftime on how to switch over a period, along with how to do our post-game breakdown. So for right now, we'll start our clock. And when it reaches 0, this obviously means that the first period is over and we're at halftime. We'll go to our game control. For this, we first for the keyboards, we have our our wrap up keyboard. This will just be for when the game's over. This is start period. This will mean that we want to start a second period, or if we want to start overtime, we'll do that again. This key is also our play-by-play. We'll click on that. This is just every play that occurred during the game so far. And if you need to make any corrections, if you want to make any corrections, if you made a mistake, you can go in there and fix those problems. Or you can go over here to the left and hit the full play-by-play. Both locations, you can make the final corrections. Um, so we'll go with start period. Make sure that it says 20 minutes. You'll hit save. Now we are in the second period. And then once halftime's over, you can quickly start it and you are good to go for the second half. Now, by the way, real quick, if your time is different from the one that's going on in the game, to make sure you have the correct time, you'll click set. Right here, you'll type in the necessary time and hit save, and it'll kick to the correct minutes and seconds for when the game's going on. But for our purposes, since we're about to do our post game breakdown, we'll do 10 seconds. Spacebar to start it, and we'll let it run. Alrighty. Now that the game is over, we'll hit game control and we will hit wrap up. Under wrap up, what you want to do, you want to do the post game function. So this is where we'll complete all our game information. Don't mess with the record yet. Right now, here we'll do our attendance. We have 65 in attendance, along with our end time. This could be 2 hours later. You'll just look at your watch and type in the necessary information. You'll hit save. Right now, down at the bottom, you will click Finalize Game and Update Team Records. You'll click that. It'll say Team Records have been successfully updated and the game has been marked as final on printable reports. You'll hit OK. To look at the final game report, you'll go up to Reports. You're going to hit the official box score, and this is everything that you have inputted into the game. All the substitutions, the field goal percentages, everything. And at the top, it will say final, along with the score and the updated record. This is why it's important in your pregame to make sure you have the right record inputted, because once you hit finalize, this is what will come up. And then all you have to do, you'll hit your email and you'll email the necessary information. You'll send this both either to yourself along with the visiting SID or the head coach, depending on which is appropriate. And make sure under attachments you're going to hit your XML box score, your packed file, and your PDF box score. This will allow us to keep a record of everything that happened. You'll hit email, and it will successfully go. And that concludes our basketball edition. Thanks for being a part of this. And that concludes our basketball edition. These are all the basic components of the Presto Stats basketball program. Let it be known that this is just a basic introduction to the program itself. If you need better education or better understanding for the program, what I personally recommend is to go out to a practice that your team might be holding, either a 5-on-5, and mess around with the controls. Go out to, if you have an away game and you have permission from the opposing school to just sit in the bleachers and mess around with the program, you can do that yourself. The best thing you can do to get familiar with this program is to practice it constantly. You can watch a professional basketball game on TV. You can watch old film of your basketball programs and mess around with the keys yourself. Before a game day, I would recommend a lot of hours to get familiar with the program, because once the game starts, it can be a bit hectic. So the more familiar you are with the program, the better that you'll be successful. Um, and let this be known that personally, this is my favorite program. It's very simple to use. It's very user friendly, and this does help all my student workers get a basic understanding of a sport they may not be familiar with. Um, I hope these couple of videos helped out if you are new to the program, if you just got it, if you needed a little refresher, or you if you have a student worker that would like to do this. Um, on our radar, we will also be doing other segments. We'll also be doing soccer, volleyball. So if you do like these videos, please hit subscribe for our Westcliff Athletics YouTube account, along with find our other videos that could hopefully help you out. Um, and thank you for being a part of this, and good luck.